Welcome to this episode of the Tea With Me podcast with me, Shane Todd. Before we go anywhere, let me plug my show that will probably be on sale by now at the Opera House, at the Grand Opera House in Belfast next summer. That's the first time I've actually said out loud that I'm doing that show, because this is in the past. Whoa. But it's happening during the summer. My brand new show called Grand in the Grand Opera House. How does he come up with the titles for a show? Who knows? No, because I will be making a grand from the show. Guys, let me also plug Patreon, which is patreon.com/teawithmepodcast. Bonus episodes, Friday live, exclusive news. I mean, they're not... Like, Dan, give us a bit of exclusive news just in general. Like, the people will not know about you.
I haven't had a cup of tea today.
Dan hasn't had a cup of tea today. He will be posting that on Patreon later just to let people know. But we've got to get this out of the way. We've got sponsors, guys. We can't help it. We've got sponsors. None other than Thompson's Tea. Now, my family because I traced my family tree, and my family come from a long line of dancers and welders, you know? But the Thompson family, on the other hand, are just tea. Like, if the Thompson... Because these guys have been making tea in Belfast since the 1800s. If they went on... What do you call that show? Who's Your Granda? No, it's a BBC show.
Who do you think you are?
Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? But if the Thompson family went on, that'd be the shortest episode ever, because they would just go, oh, your whole family just always made tea. Everyone you've ever been related to. Because these guys just been killing it in the tea game. And they make Punjana, which is Northern Ireland's #1 selling tea. And we love tea here, so that's a massive deal. And these guys love it to stay ahead of the competition by just hustling that tea 24/7. You know, they're the superior tea. You know, who else have you got? You know, those specky rent boys from Tetley. What are they doing, you know? Remember those ads where they were just wearing all the long white coats and the wee brown hats trying to be the Peaky Blinders and all, even though that wasn't out before. Those ads probably 20 years old, and that's what Tetley is, just old. Tetley use old tea. The Punjana taste it. The guys, the Thompson family, go to the likes of India, Kenya. They go to tea fields, try a wee bit, and then they try. There's a wee frog beside. They try the tea, and they go, no. The Thompson family say no, and then that's when those wee nerds from Tetley run up and go, we'll take it. You know, fuck off. Keep drinking Punjana. We've got no discount code, no nothing. Just a message that keep drinking Punjana. We're also sponsored by Manscaped. Now, it's coming into winter. Things are getting cold. Things are getting smaller. Let's be honest, guys, they're getting smaller. So you got to make sure things down there are looking as good as possible, because if it's going to be small, you got to make sure that everything around it looks good. Don't let yourself get lost in an overgrown garden of pubes, because that's what can happen at winter. Because it's okay during the summer. You want to grow a bit longer in summer, that's okay, because you're just there, you can see you. But if you're a wee bit smaller and it's a bit longer, you're going to be lost. Manscaped.com, we've got things like the Lawnmower 4.0 with anti-snag technology. Don't snag your bag, you know. These guys are looking out for you. No accidents. You know, you're not going to be going to A&E going like, I've done it again. They've got the Weed Whacker for your nose and ear hair. I don't get nose and ear hair because I'm a young guy. But they've got everything. The perfect Christmas presents, by the way, as well. So go to manscaped.com, use the code TEAWITHME for 20% off and free shipping. Look at this wee thing here. Look at that. Tom's family been making tea since 1800. Imagine you got a person from the 1800s and went, what do you think this does? They wouldn't believe. Imagine this is for shaving your bits. They'd say, what do you mean shaving your bits? You worry about that tea. And where's that wee frog? Manscaped.com. My guest is back for maybe the third time. Once in studio, and then once when we did on Zoom. Remember, everyone did it. Zoom was shit. Wasn't Zoom shit?
Yeah.
Just in general.
Yeah, it was.
Unless they want to sponsor the podcast, in which case it's great for virtual meetings and keeping connected all around the world, which is important at these difficult times when we're all losing our connections. My guest is Leah McCourt, who professionally beats the shit out of people as a job. Isn't that nuts? Like,
Yeah, it actually is. And when I think about it sometimes, I'm like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, no, it's
surely a
good.
job in Starbucks would be easier
Yeah.
and less stressful.
But I've never worked in Starbucks, but I'd say there's probably less of a thrill making a couple of flat
You don't
whites
know.
compared to.
That one at Starbucks, the Connswater, who knows what goes on down
Do
there?
you think there's? I'm gonna talk to you about that in a second, because, okay, but about the Starbucks Connswater. But do you think there's people? Do you think there's baristas who get the same buzz over knocking up a flat white that you would, headline
Probably
the Bellator show
in-
and kicking somebody in the head?
Probably in America. Like, they're
The
really
Amer- oh,
extra, aren't they?
Well, Americans are enthusiastic about anything.
Yeah, they love it. They actually, I was in Texas there a few weeks ago, and it was so good to be in America. Just when you get into the airport, you land, you're just like, everybody is absolutely off their heads crazy.
Positive
This
though.
is America.
Yeah.
Happy.
I don't like too much enthusiasm or positivity.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I like to see it for a while, and then the novelty will.
Yeah, because we're so dry and we're from Belfast.
Yeah.
Like, after one interaction, you're like, okay,
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah. Like if I meet
Be
a
sad.
if I meet a urinal in America, yeah, that's our slogan, isn't it? What are you at? Be sad, will you?
Be miserable.
Be more sad. In America, literally, like you'll be there for a few minutes, and then you're like, "This is great," and then you're at a urinal, and the guy beside you goes, "Hey, buddy, high five." Like, no high five, you fucking pervert. Starbucks Connswater,
Great location.
you like it?
It's okay.
So, I haven't been there in years and years, and now people are doing drive-through coffee.
Drive
which
through. In Connswater, in Starbucks, what a random place.
I've been there twice in the last couple of weeks because I was doing a show near there in the Strand Cinema, and I've got a life hack. I've got a hack you might be interested in
Okay.
for the drive-through, because you know the way it's always packed, and the
Yeah.
Tim Hortons too.
Always so busy.
It's like 30 cars, right?
Yeah.
Life hack?
And B&M in Connswater as well.
Okay, well, I didn't know you were a brand ambassador for Connswater, but I've got a life hack.
Yeah.
For the queues at Starbucks when you're in your car. You're not going to believe this. Park it up and go in.
But that defeats the whole purpose of not having to get out of your car and have a social interaction with people.
But you still have the same interaction. You're just doing it at the counter.
Yeah, but there's more people you have to interact with if you walk in somewhere.
No.
Like, maybe
You have to say
people-
hello to everybody in the place. A guy, I went into that one, and there was a guy in front of me who goes, this was the night before the first SSE show, he goes, "Mate, I'm coming to the show tomorrow night, looking forward to it." And I said, "Yep, cheers mate, thanks very much." And then he came up to me as he went out and went, "Well, we don't know if we're going to be able to go. Me and my wife are looking to maybe sell the tickets." He goes, "Could you put that up in your story?" I was like, "No." I know.
Gosh.
But yeah,
Hustling.
Connswater, I thought Connswater was, I didn't think we'd spend this much time talking about Connswater, but
Yeah.
when I was a
What a
kid,
place.
Connswater was the place.
Yeah, the shopping centre.
It was the mall. You know what I mean? You were like, go to the mall with your friends, you go to Connswater with your mates, go to the MPO. Remember the MPO?
No.
What did the MPO stand for? It was it's like a magazine shop. Can you angle it? Sorry, please don't hit me. You angle it a bit more. Fighter to fighter. You angle that more a wee bit. But since you've been on last, have you fought once or twice since you were last in studio? I think once.
I don't know. Maybe once in London.
See,
I fought in America, and then I think I came in and I fought in London, and then I went to Texas. So once, yeah.
So I was saying to you before that like I can't handle, like I'm a fight fan. You know, like I don't compete anymore, but I like to just be a spectator now, which is hard for someone like me to, try and having my background.
Yeah.
It's hard to just switch off and watch a fight. But I was saying that I can't stay up for fights.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stay up. I like
I can't either.
tea time fights.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what about your fight? It was supposed to be 10:30.
What time was it on it?
Well, it was
11.
It was on 10:30, right? So we're chat. There was another. I think there was boxing on before it, and I was chatting to Tony there, and I go, what time is the? Because I was watching boxing, he was watching Bellator, and then I was like, let me know when Leah's fight is.
Okay.
I'll watch that, and then it's about 10:15. I go, ring walk's starting soon. He go, no, fight on now. Another fight on now.
Yeah.
Shit, it's 10:20. So I'm, looking forward to the fight. And then he goes, "Oh, there's a ring walk, but it's not for that fight." And what? He goes, "There's another fight on."
I'll ring Showtime in America and let them know that you half an hour earlier suits your bedtime.
Like, why are we not bumping fights on before? Like, let's get to the main event. I think the fight was on about 11:30. One it was about 11:30.
It's because of the American time. It's like you need to be on like peak time in America and over here for viewership.
Yeah, but I thought it was like 10:30. Like, I was...
But
Like,
what was it, 11, 30 minutes later?
yeah, but like that don't work for me. That doesn't work for me. But London, was it... Do you notice that... So if you go fight in America, obviously with like jet lag and the time change, do you notice that then when you fight in London? Do you go, oh, this is like
Yeah.
easier preparation?
Yeah,
that sort of thing?
definitely. And it just not having to travel like across the world and your time difference and your weight cutting and everything. And especially having like my team and family are all there having the best crack fight week in Wembley, and then the weigh-ins and the media, and then even on fight night there's so many more people can go than traveling in
Yeah, I
America,
suppose.
and you don't get 40% tax in America, so put me in Europe cars.
Then you got... Now you got all that money for Starbucks and Collins water.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I never thought about that. I suppose, like, not everyone can go see you fight in America.
Plus the European and Irish crowds are way better than anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Like London, that was the best London Wembley show I've been. The atmosphere was amazing. And then Dublin last week, like it's totally different to America.
Do you feel like when you're fighting, do you like feel your people there for you? Do you feel that grows more and more? Like every fight, do you go, oh, that sounds like there's more people there like supporting me, like just for me?
See, to be honest, I don't really take it in or notice it, because I'm literally walking down to fight somebody in a cage, so I'm like, that's like the only thing in my head. And then when I'm in there, I'm like, I'm literally fighting for my life in front of 10,000 people and millions online. Like even backstage in my last fight, I remember the guy after me had like Skepta and like I had all these guys like singing them out. So we went through the backstage and seen like all these like famous rappers, and I was and you go into a room that's literally like the ceiling is tiny, and it's like tiny, and there's a guy before you is warming up and ready to go out and fight. He's getting himself psyched up, and I'm sitting here going, like, imagine I could sing or like do something that I'm walking out into Wembley not having to fight someone in a cage in front of all these people. Like, why is this what I do?
Yeah.
Like, imagine just being like a singer, the pressure would be so much less. And I'm like, so you walk out from this tiny wee box room, you literally walk out in front of and whenever I was walking to the arena, so the hotel was across the road from the arena, I was watching people walk in to watch the show, and I'm like, why do I have to be the person that walks in the other entrance to fight in front of all these people? There's so many like crazy
I know exactly
things.
what you mean.
And yeah.
So well, apart from the like, I mean, you said Skepta was backstage, walking into the cage to fight. I mean, my mate Dave was backstage, and I was walking to the stage to tell jokes. But
and he came in he did a song about MVP called Bellator.
Dave did? My mate Dave? Major props to Dave Elliott.
No, Skepta did, and he came in my changing room after. I was like, well done. And I was like, make sure you do your next song about me, and he was like, like I was obviously joking, and he didn't get our humor.
Yeah.
He was like,
Yeah, but
No.
that's like me saying like I'd sing you for a fight, but that's not humor. That's me saying let's make it happen. I had the exact same thing with when you see people coming to your show. So
yeah,
at SSE, I got there early to do like sound check, and then we went to get something to eat afterwards on sound check at Nando's, and I had a weird feeling of being in Nando's, being like, I wonder how many people in here right now
Yeah.
are coming to the show.
yeah,
And I drove a different way back to SSE, so I didn't pass the front of it, because if I had seen the queue and
Yeah.
been like, they're coming to see
see
me.
me.
And even, this is so weird, the parking attendant guy was in the high vis standing there, standing like to direct people. And I was going, he's here tonight because of me. If that makes sense. I'm like, he's working as part of my show.
Isn't it the weirdest, most surreal, weird feeling? Like, I always think of that as well. Like, these people watching us walking, it's like, I always wish that I was with them and not doing what I have to do. Because, like,
Yeah.
the unknown is so immense and intense. And you can go into the cage and come out with them all these opportunities. You can come out of the cage the lowest ever.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why can't I rap like Skepta and be like his backup dancer?
Well, look, let's work on it.
We both can sing quite well.
Well, I'm more of a rapper, but I can sing. But like, I think that combo would work. I'm different in that, the way you're just going in to fight, you're not thinking about the crowd at the time. I'd be the opposite. I'd be like in a guillotine like looking around, going, "Where's my aunt? Is my auntie here tonight?" Like, oh, Florence. You know, I get knocked out
Her
so
name's
quick.
definitely Florence.
Yeah, it is. That's good.
It's a really nice name.
I know.
Actually,
Mandy Flo.
actually is a nice name.
Pardon?
Actually is a nice name.
Yeah. You have how many aunties, Joe?
Uh,
That's a question we ask every guest.
I don't even know. Maybe 5.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's quite. Well, I was going to say it's quite a lot. I've got any Carrie. 4. That's fine. Isn't it?
Yeah.
I'd say 4 probably average.
Yeah.
Probably average. You get some people with like too many. There's sometimes just too many. You know, I think once you get past 7, that's too many aunties.
That is so annoying.
Yeah. But you were over to fight, like doing media and stuff like that. When you banged that down, I sort of jumped a wee bit.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
I was over at a fight.
Yeah, well, you were over. Oh, you Dublin. You
I
were
was
just
in
down
Dublin
Dublin.
last weekend, yeah.
But were you watching that as like a fan?
Yeah.
Like, or you were working?
No, I was doing it a wee bit on the desk for TV, but like most of it, I was able to watch and take it in, and I was like, wow,
When
like
you're
incredible.
when you're doing it for TV, like punditry type things.
Like on the desk, yeah, talking about the fights.
Is that? Can you watch it? Are you watching it as a fighter, or are you watching it thinking how someone at home would watch it? Does that make sense?
No, so my position is to watch it as a fighter and like give analysis on what I think they need to do to win or after the fight.
Yeah.
I was only doing it for the co-main event the last time. It wasn't like the whole card that I've done before, but it's definitely doing that side because before I've only ever thought about coming and walking out and fighting. Like the amount of production that goes into fight night is like insane.
So you're watching those things that you're not watching on fight night. You know, you're like looking at the production and the
exactly.
evening,
So I'm able to see more. So what actually happens, and makes it even more nerve wracking fighting.
Yeah. Do you worry about like what if you were doing punditry on a fight and then someone made like a bad mistake or you were like criticised them? Do you ever get worried about that? Like that might start a beef?
Not really. A wee bit the last fight because obviously I'm biased towards the Irish fighters, so I'm always gonna back them more. And then yeah.
What happened?
And I can't.
Just like hint at it. Don't say. It's okay.
Right. Okay. But can you not?
I'm your
air
wee
it?
auntie. It's okay.
Does it
you
have
can say
to
to
be
me.
aired?
No. Okay. Well then don't. If you're ever uncomfortable.
Okay.
Don't.
No, it's funny though.
Well then.
But it's
say it, but maybe we don't mention names or
Okay.
anything like
So.
that.
Okay, but people will know the name. Okay, just next question.
Okay.
I'll tell you off air.
Okay, yeah, tell me off air. The more like you progress and like the more big fights you have and wins obviously as well, like I imagine someone comes to you and goes, listen, you need to start a rivalry with it. We're going to start a rivalry with you and this person.
Yeah.
And then you speak to that person and you're like, right, we need to start slobbering at each other like big time and that. Because the first time I interviewed you, you were saying that it's not really like that, like at all.
Yeah.
You know, but you're obviously like, you just keep winning. So when you move up a bit more, does that become more like choreographed?
People, not really. It's not WWE. Like we're literally a couple.
Would you do WWE?
I don't think I'd be very good at it.
No,
I don't know.
I think all fight like
You have to be like a really good actor, don't you, or actress?
yeah, but you talk really well. Like I think
Yeah.
you'd be really good at WWE.
But it'd be so embarrassing because it's not real.
Pardon?
It'd be so embarrassing.
No, WWE. I think you're mistaken. WWE is real.
Yeah, but it's like staged, isn't it? Like they're not really, they're not really fighting.
They are fighting. Like what about like I don't know why. You know, you need to respect those. Like the Undertaker has died twice. He's come back from the dead twice, and he's still one of the best guys.
I get it.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean, but I suppose it is like athleticism and that sort of thing, and
I don't know.
it'd be fun because like you're doing like, but you're not actually getting hit.
Yeah, you wouldn't actually have big consequences. Maybe after, if fighting fails, I'll maybe do that.
Yeah, I think I think wrestling would be fun. Although those guys apparently and girls obviously fight like every night, like not far off
their
every night
bodies
of the
would
week.
be like beat up. I seen that like movie with the blonde. What do you call the guy that has like all the work done? Looked like a wrestling movie.
Mickey Rourke.
Yeah.
Mickey Rourke, the wrestler, the movie The Wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Because they do like the televised I don't know, once or twice a week. But then every night they're like on tour.
Yeah,
And it's
getting,
not
like,
televised.
battered and their bodies are
Even
in
like even when
agony.
they get like slammed down, like that
Yeah.
canvas is like quite hard.
Yeah.
It's like wood or something.
Yeah.
So I like
It's like a cage.
yeah,
right?
that's one of the reasons why I wouldn't do it. Again, it's another sport. The offers have been there, but I'm like, no. I went to see a wrestling show in Dublin once, WWE, and it was very like entertaining. It was good.
Yeah.
It was
the
good.
crowd really get into it, didn't they?
Oh yeah, like way too into it.
Yeah.
Like way too into it.
I can
This
tell.
guy's like, who's gonna win? Like these guys are both going for it. I'm like, they'll know.
Yeah, and they're all
They
like
know.
old men
Beforehand.
that really love it, which is good
Yeah.
as well. It's nice to see them passionate, but I don't get. I just don't get it.
Yeah. The fight, like Wembley's obviously an unreal. I was at Wembley for football. I hadn't been to Wembley since I was a kid at the old Wembley before it was all
Yeah.
redone. But like that arena is unreal.
Yeah, so
That's so good.
yeah, it was in the. It wasn't in the stadium. It was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
SA arena. Yeah, but that is unreal. That arena. It was so nice. Because a lot of my Bellator fights have been in Dublin, to be in London, and I love London, and to
Yeah.
have that different crowd and energy was so cool.
What do you like to do in London? We like places I like
love
to
it
go,
so
things I
much.
like to do.
Yeah, I love going to the to see a show.
Like West End?
Yeah.
What was the last thing you saw?
We went the day after my fight in Wembley. We went to see the Prince of Egypt. It took Isabella. It was amazing. And I was also watching that, thinking, why can't I sing or dance and not have to fucking fight in a cage?
I mean, I think I've only been to a West End show once, and I think it was Wicked. I don't know what it was, but it was
so manly.
it was good.
Yeah,
What?
such a manly
And this
show.
top? Can't remember what I saw. I just had a fab night, and it was so good. Last time I was in, do you know what the spot in London is? Soho.
Yeah, I was. I
So
went there.
so much fun.
Yeah, I was actually there for dinner last week.
And but when you're there, so do they like after a fight? Do you have to do like loads of press, and do you have to do stuff the next day, or is it like once you fight and you've done an interview, away you go?
Yeah, literally, I set you free.
Can you
Freedom.
go out the night of a fight?
Like, so it always happens. So no matter where we are in the world, whenever the actual fight's over and you've done your interviews, there's nowhere open. You can't get food. So I remember I had a black eye, I had sore legs. There was no Ubers because of some petrol thing in London. So I had to walk from the SC Arena to the McDonald's, like round the corner, and it was like a 15-minute walk in the freezing cold. I was like,
After your fight?
Yeah.
How are you not getting stuff brought?
I don't know.
You can ask people to like to do it.
We
Like-
tracked round the McDonald's, stood in the queue, and like that always happens after like fight night. You never get to go anywhere or do anything. You always walk to McDonald's or get like a delivery, and you just sit with the Bellator crew and laugh. Like, but it's and you're so tired, you can't, and exhausted, you don't want to go out.
I'm gonna like arrange without telling you your next fight.
Whoa.
You're gonna be sitting there. You're gonna walk somewhere, and someone's gonna bring like a burger and
A
go.
buffet.
That's from Todd.
Thank you.
Yeah, not a buffet. I can't afford that, but it will be a single burger that I have sent over.
I would really appreciate that. Thanks.
But like I wouldn't have thought that at all. I thought it would be like catering backstage, a bar,
No,
all that kind of stuff.
but like tick the medical that you can walk and you just leave and just literally and then so it's so surreal. So like then you walk because the hotel was beside the arena. So I walked in, fought, and then you walk back to your hotel.
Right.
It's like this is so weird. Like it's what a
Yeah.
weird mental experience.
Because I never like I think you have different ideas of what you think happens after a show. Same with like
Yeah.
comedy. People go after shows. You must go out for all these drinks and have a wild night. So like last week when I did SSE, that was the first time I'd ever done it. It's the biggest show of my life,
Yeah.
like by far. And after it,
That's
I
incredible.
had-
The SSA, like that's amazing.
Yeah, but it's mad how it was like probably the best night in comedy I've ever
Unreal.
had. But after it, I had no notion to go for a drink to
You
do.
don't want to. You're
I-
so fulfilled by what you've done. It's like,
Yeah.
like nothing can top
Had a
that.
cup of tea and just went home
Yeah.
and was home about 50 minutes after the show was over watching Match of the Day.
And it's so like, isn't the contrast of those two experiences so mental?
but
I find.
I feel like a serial killer because I can just sleep after it. I woke up in the
Oh
morning
no,
and
I
went,
don't sleep for days after fights.
do you? Because of
No.
adrenaline?
Yeah, it's just
Really?
Like, yeah.
Actually, I think there's something wrong with me because I literally like get into bed after the SSE and I'm like wee willy winky. I wear a wee hat to
Another
bed.
night.
Yeah, another. Not that I didn't take in the scale of the show. It just it just feels like a brilliant night at work.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I get that. I do get that.
And
Yeah.
but I always go, see, after the show we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that and we're gonna go to this place. Anytime
never
I do,
do.
I'm one drink. I'm not much of a drinker anyway, but I'm 1 or 2 drinks in and be like, I just want to go to bed.
Yeah.
I just need rest.
Me time.
Yeah, me time. We bubble bath, whatever it is. But yeah, that's crazy. Honestly, I would have thought that there was like a whole showbiz side to those
Not
to
really.
those promotions
no.
and those fights.
No, some people do have like after parties and like
Yeah.
there was, but you can't be bothered.
Skepta was definitely going somewhere. He was going somewhere.
They did have an after party, but
You couldn't have gone Skepta. You could have gone to Skepta's party.
yeah, I walked to McDonald's around the corner than the SC instead.
What did the first ever fight you had, right? Like amateur or whatever, like the first ever like organised fight that you had. What did you do after that?
And it was in the Ulster Hall in Belfast.
That was your first fight?
Yeah, like I've always had quite big stages to fight on, and I remember being like, "Is the fire exit open? I can run away from this. Like, what am I doing?" Like,
Before the fight?
Yeah, this isn't normal. And then we actually took a fight that night. I actually remember that now. I think we
Black
went to-
eye, were you
Yeah.
bust up much?
Yeah, and then even now I have.
Where'd you
black
go
eyes.
after it?
I went to El Divino. Remember it?
Yeah, oh yeah.
How
I remember El
It's
Divino.
like had such a great day, and then went there. Like,
But everybody thought El Divino was like the place. You know, and it was, remember the VIP was like
the green room.
green, and like I remember like, oh, it's cringe.
It's
now
literally
that-
cringe thinking about it. I wasn't
You're
even
like,
going to say I went
Who's
there.
on the door here and all? And you're like, oh, I also remember going to El Divino and and I was seeing a girl at the time, and she was out somewhere in Belfast, and she's like, I'll come over to El Divino and meet you. And me and my mates were all about to leave, so I went, well, I say all my, it's probably like me and 2 guys, right? And I went, me and the squad, my cousin and my dad, we were, they left, and I was like, I'll wait for her. It was like she was gonna be there in like 2 minutes. So she comes, and I said to the guy on the door, I was like, can I bring some in? And he's like, that's no sweat, mate. So I was like, right. And she came in, we sat down in like the VIP bit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be in any VIP bit anymore ever, right? So we sat down, and we're chatting, and I was like, I'll go to the bar. And one of the guys, doing like a lovely gesture, but made it also tragic, came over with a bottle of Prosecco, like in like a cooler with ice, and went, there you go, Mr. Todd. And I was like, no. And she thought it was the cringiest thing ever. She thought I'd planned it, and I was like, no, I have not planned this.
Yeah,
I've not planned this, and do I have to pay for that? Because I don't have the money for it.
Whatever happened to El Divino? Is it still open?
That venue's still there, but I don't think there's
It's a
anything
good
at
venue,
it.
isn't it, for
Yeah.
something?
Though I think looking back to stuff like that, it was like like being in like VIP
Yeah.
and
In
all
Belfast,
that sort of thing.
like
But it was fun at the
Yeah.
time. It was fun.
memories.
Yeah. Where was your first like going out spot in Belfast?
The Beach Club,
Beach Club.
iconic.
I think I was only in the Beach Club 4 or 5 times.
I
But
was,
it
yeah, I wasn't in that. I wasn't like a local.
Yeah. Imagine that came back. You were there 4 nights a week. First, as soon as the doors opened. Some nights not drinking, just like chilling out. Imagine you're just a regular at the bar at the Beach Club, calling in to see you. Imagine the Beach Club came back for 1 night.
Amazing. In the
How good would that
SSE.
be?
Imagine you could
That's what I
watch
should
back
have
to those
done.
nights of like the stuff that went on in the Beach Club.
Oh, I remember going to I've only been to fun party once, and it was at the Beach Club, and it was class. It was so
We
good.
never went to that.
It was class. I thought it was unreal. Like, it's on your hair and everything. And then I remember catching a reflection of myself walking out and going, no. I just jumped on the lagging. I threw myself in.
There's nowhere
Swam
like
back
that in
to Hollywood.
Belfast now to go out, is there? Thompson's is like that is the place.
I know what you
still
mean.
going.
Do you mean like of places that are like fun
Yeah,
as
and people
opposed to
go
like
and have
cool
a-
and trendy?
Yeah, like people go and go
That's
crazy.
That's it. That's why, like, yeah, sometimes I either like a well lit, quiet enough bar to have a conversation with my mates,
Yeah.
or somewhere that's like
Like Planet Love.
silly and fun.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go to Planet Love, but
Did you see it came back like last
yeah,
week?
I'd love to go to something like that, but like
To vlog
suspended
it?
high above the audience. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, or like, remember Harry
Not
Potter,
with
the
the
cloak of
civilians.
invisibility? Yeah, I'd love that. I'd still have the wee white gloves and all and the bucket hat, but I'd just be like at the side of the stage with a cup
What,
of tea.
spectating?
Yeah. Love it. I don't know. Yeah, night. That was like Beach Club and stuff was really fun.
And box.
Box, yeah. But then I think about all these places, and I used to go there all the time, and I was like, I don't think I went out that much.
No, I didn't. I must have a few times.
But there were people who go out Wednesday to Sunday.
Yeah.
How'd they afford that?
How did they afford it?
Although back then it was all like
$1.50
drinks a
in.
pound, all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
That was madness.
And no wonder why there was so many people got ill and sick. Like
50p for 8 pints.
Yeah.
They're like, I ended up blitz last night.
Why?
You went out with 250 and you got demented.
You could literally got with 20 quid.
So yeah, that Bellator fight in Wembley, was that a fight you went into? Were you the favourite for that?
Probably was. I don't know. I think it probably was. Yeah.
And during it, did it all go your way? Do you feel like it all went your way?
Yeah, I do. I think it went. It was a good fight. It was the first time I've actually felt comfortable in there, like I'm relaxed. A lot of time, I go in with like, I don't know, injuries, like stuff going on. First time I've actually felt a bit relaxed. I was able to like enjoy it when I was in there.
See, I never would. I would have thought 2 fights in or something, you'd have been relaxed from that point.
No. Because every fight I've had is like on being like on massive cards, massive stages. Like
Yeah.
there's just smaller promotions that like people fight on, like when you're on like Bellator, UFC, those big platforms and like pressure and hype and media.
Yeah, most people's first fight was expecting you to be like Chimney Corner Hotel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Something like that.
In my back garden.
Yeah. But yeah, I would have always assumed you're like comfortable. But I suppose I know what you mean, because like I would always get nervous,
Yeah.
and now it's not that I don't. It's just it's a totally different feeling.
Yeah.
It's like I'm nervous, but I'm also like, well, I've been doing this like I backed myself here.
Do you get excited?
Yeah, but not.
And when you're doing it, do you love it? And do you like enjoy it?
Yeah.
You're
I
like,
just
they're
hate
laughing
it.
at me.
Yeah, but I'm like staying on track. Like I don't allow myself to get like too giddy or excited.
Yeah.
And before, I think if I was really excited before a show, but I'm not really that animated of a person. So I think if I was, I'd be knackered by the time the show came around.
Yeah.
I like to keep it quite low end. Like my perfect backstage is a few comedian mates around. And
Oh, do you? And like all the
Oh, yeah.
cracking jokes?
yeah, but not forcing that. We're just
Yeah.
like, we're maybe having like food or a cup of tea and like talking about the show, and naturally
That's nice.
it gets to like a storytelling type thing. So it's like, it's almost like a warm up for the show without
Yeah.
meaning to be. Like last time, I did Waterfront a few weeks ago, and my mate Dave, you met Dave Elliott was, you remember the beard? Oh. Dave, remember?
That Dave.
Yeah, you did the with Skepta.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, Dave was telling us a story backstage. I love that. I'm gonna put that and send that clip to him.
Did he do the thing in the sketch that we did
Yeah.
before? Okay.
Yeah,
I can remember. Yeah,
but
no.
you'd forgotten him.
Okay.
He's forgettable.
I get hit in the head of CTE.
He was backstage Waterfront, and I was like, I went and got changed, got my stuff on, and then I came out and he was telling a story about giving himself a paper cut, like down below when he was younger, when he was like, he had like,
Why would he do that?
I think, sorry Dave if I've got this wrong, I think he had like a clothes catalogue when he was younger.
Did he
like
do it on
in the
purpose?
house. No.
Oh right.
And he was looking at like the lingerie bit of it. You know, he's like a kid, he was like a teenager or whatever. And I think one thing led to another, and he got a paper cut and passed out in his toilet, and his dad found
He
him.
passed out.
I think he passed out. Yeah,
It
he
couldn't
got,
have been that sore.
I think he lost a lot of blood, but he was telling
Thick
that
with the
story,
paper?
and I was like, I'm going on stage in 10 minutes, and this is what we're talking about. But that was perfect, because it like distracted me from my
Yeah.
nerves, you know?
No, I like that. I like low energy backstage. People not talking to me, just like being there. I like
Yeah.
people around me, but not like some people like cracking jokes and stuff. I just don't like anything because I'm not in the mood. I'm irritable. I'm not in the mood to like. Use
I'd be the
energy
worst
yourself
trainer
in.
ever. I'd be
You
so
really
bad.
would.
Yeah.
I'm like, shut up.
I'd be showing you memes just before you go out to fight. So what's the next thing going to be then? What's the next fight
So
going
I'm
to be?
just waiting to hear next fight date. So I just have to wait.
What,
Hopefully.
what
it's
would be
gonna-
ideal?
Well, in like February or March, and if they're doing a card in Europe, so I have to wait until the cards are finalised and confirmed,
Oh,
and then
okay.
they tell me what card they want me on or where they want to fit me. So hopefully it's in Europe in February and March. It would be perfect.
Do you like a short gap in between fights or a
Yeah.
bit longer?
Yeah, sure. I like to be active.
Yeah, because when you hear people fighting once a year,
Yeah.
I'm like, how, that can't be
It's like
like, good.
the nerves and stuff, and controlling the situation and the build up and improving. You want to be active because I can only fight for a certain amount of years. I need to keep improving fast in between fights.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but then again, I haven't got. If you look at my division, like I'm number 4 in the world, but the difference in experience between the 4 above me and me,
Yeah.
it's like I'm not very experienced in the number of fights I've had
But
compared to them.
that could be could that be an advantage because like they, you know, if there's fighters there that are like way more experienced, they'll know each other's games pretty well.
Not
whereas
really.
no,
Not really. No.
I thought I was
Like,
making a really good point there.
no, you're not.
Ah. So like so there's a big jump. Do you mean
Yeah,
in
and
terms
like
of
experience
right?
between them. So I just need to keep active and keep fighting.
Where would you love to fight in Europe?
I asked Bellator to do a Belfast show. Like even Carl, I was with Carl Frampton the other day. He says, "Why have they not come to Belfast?"
Yeah,
So I text.
we love fighting.
I text Mike, my boss, and I said Bellator Belfast. And he goes, "No." He's really funny and direct. He goes, I was like, "Why?" And he goes, "No one wants to go to Belfast." I was like,
Oh, like in terms of fighters and audience.
"No,
and,
I don't know." He goes, "We went before. It was awful." And I was like,
but you,
"You brought a show to Belfast and had no Belfast fighters on it." And he goes, "Okay, well then let's do a deal." He was like,
it was in Yorkit, Burger King.
he says, "If I do a show in Belfast, you have to guarantee me it'll sell out. Otherwise, you'll fight the rest of your contract for free." And I was like,
it would
okay,
sell
it
so
would
well.
definitely sell.
Like especially if you were headline,
Yeah.
like and maybe someone like Paul Hugh, like you know, like a couple of local
Like
fighters.
local fighters from Belfast.
Yeah.
It'd be really good for Belfast.
It'd be
as well.
great.
I also spoke about what do you call? Where did Carl do the outdoor one?
Oh, Windsor.
Yeah, I don't know why I forgot
Oh,
that.
outdoor stuff would be fun.
It'd be unreal, but it'd be risky as well. Obviously, Belfast.
The weather.
It would definitely be, I think, a hurricane.
Yeah,
night.
that holds us back. Yeah, they're like, we're doing it in at the end of June, the solstice, third longest day of the year or shortest. I don't know. I don't know what that is. They're like the sun comes through the wee rock and all. I forgot. But Stonehenge. All right, mate.
It'd be like a
But-
freak, like catastrophic
Be
weather event
-3.
in Belfast.
Yeah, yeah. Be freezing, and then that'd be the worst time to get like kicked on the legs and all when it's cold.
Exactly.
But yeah, I don't want to fight. I don't want any part of the card.
You could warm up. You could like
Yes.
fight as a warm up fight.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be good.
Carl actually kept saying he wanted to have an MMA fight with Paddy Barnes.
Oh, I thought you were going to say with me. I was going to say no deal. I'm all right.
That could be on the card as
Yeah,
well.
Carl and Paddy Barnes that'd be fun.
Unreal.
That'd be a fun scrap. I think it'll sell really well. I think people like are way more into it, and like you're obviously a huge part of that. And do you think like, are you noticing like a lot more like popularity here? You know, in terms of like media, like it seems to be like, you know, when people are talking about sport here in general, like you're a huge part of that. You know, people like Johnny Ray and people from all different sports. Does it go from, you know, maybe when you're like starting out or when you do your first Bellator fight, you know, it seemed to be that like when people were talking about women in sport, you know, they'd be talking about you, they'd be talking about like Shirley McKay from hockey and stuff. And now it seems to be like you're more part of, you know, the conversation is just people in sport and you're...
Yeah, no, I do. I
Wonderful.
think so. And it's nice to have that as well because, like, of everything that I've done and achieved, it's nice to be recognised. But I'll not feel content until I have a mural like on the shangle of the Falls Road.
Both.
Like, yeah, both in the middle.
Why not?
Why have I not? Who does them? Who does these?
Tony did that. What do you think of that?
Would you just go up one of those roads and
The best thing to do, I'd say, would be don't let anyone in the areas know you're doing it. I think to be okay with that. The Shankle and Fall, just the peace line, I think it's all pretty sweet. So
on
yeah,
the peace wall even?
that's what I'm thinking. On
Like
the wall, sure, you
that
could
is
do,
when you've made it.
yeah. A mural. Do you know what the fun thing about a mural be? You're being recognised in such a cool way.
Yeah.
But then what if like you didn't like the painting yourself
Yeah, but-
and you're like,
yeah.
they pulled down the wee thing. Oh, what do you think? And all like Belfast Live and all there, and you're like, that's class. But why are my eyes so low in my head?
Didn't Ronaldo do that? There was some statue of him.
Oh, there's a brutal statue of him, and there. Did you ever see the James Corden prank on David Beckham?
No.
So they.
Oh yes, they did, yeah.
It was like a fake statue, and David Beckham's like, no, but he had to pretend that he liked it. Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't want them. I don't want the mural. I don't want the mural. So if you're thinking about doing one for me, don't. Where would you want the mural? You're from Saintfield.
Yeah.
Would you want one Saintfield?
It'd be a bit random in Saintfield, wouldn't it?
No. That'd be
It's
good.
not very like. It's a bit
It's
of a
not-
country.
It's not murally.
Not murally. Wouldn't really be.
That's the slogan for Saintfield tourism. Not murally. A lot of like
Like
flowers.
Quiet little village town.
Quaint.
And
And then just get like a
Me-
big neon neon sign.
then, yeah.
I love that. Yeah,
Oh.
mural would be. I'd like a wee mural in Hollywood, but like oil painted. Stencil,
By
you know,
Picasso.
like really class, like a touch of class about it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'd like that, like not like spray paint or anything.
Yeah.
No spray paint or anything like that. But like I don't know, you'd probably have to get like the paramilitaries to
Yeah,
do it
I
because
was-
they
I
are
was
the
gonna say
best.
that.
Like
They would
art,
have the contacts.
they'd have the contacts, the equipment, and the access to walls.
Yeah.
You know, because like
And no one would say anything if they did
if someone knocks your, like if I get Tony knock someone's door, do you mind if we do Shane Todd on the side of your house? They'll be like, fuck off. But the boys,
The
we're going to
boys.
do, we're painting the wee man here. And they do me up.
I'll get them free tickets to my next fight.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's mad that there are like a lot of the, like those guys just have a flair for art.
They're
They
unbelievable.
love sectarianism and
Yeah.
art attack. Like, I like it.
In a different world, they would have been definitely artists.
Yeah.
Like the work on even East on that Newton Ards Road is amazing.
Unreal. Yeah. Yeah. The I mean, some of it's good. And then
Some of
there's
it's a bit
some where you're like,
controversial.
I think the main guy wasn't available that day because that
The main man.
the one doesn't look good. But you can't tell him like, oh, his class, man. It's right, brother, up a hoot. It's shit. Would you worry that like imagine that like the paramilitaries are like imagine you're fighting in America and like the mob just became real big fans of yours.
Oh,
And then they were like
amazing.
wanting to go to every show, and they're like, we're going to take care, we're going to run your business deals and all that, like the mafia.
Yeah,
And then you'd be like in really deep with it.
I'd love that.
You would love that.
Yeah,
You just because they're doing that, and it'd be
Yeah.
fun, like, wouldn't it?
it'd be so fun.
All like just all in their suits and
the
their
men.
trilbies
Yeah.
and what?
All the men.
Yeah, it is mainly men in the mafia. Do you have a thing for mafia guys? you get the Sopranos on, like, oh, Tony. I want you to be walked to the ring. After your next fight, I want you to be taken to an Italian restaurant, not McDonald's. I want you to be carried to an Italian restaurant
Walked
on the
out with
shoulders.
men with their suits,
With the
and their
wee, those wee guns,
Yeah.
the wee Tommy guns. Yeah. That's so weird that that's the thing. Mob guys. I like a bad boy. Oh, with like a motorbike? No, in the Italian mafia.
Taking applications.
Oh, you think they have forms? Hey, you gotta bring 2 forms ID, alright? I need a utility bill. They've got a diversity form as well. Like, you don't need to fill it in, but I always say other in those forms because your name's not on it. You know, if there's like an application form and then there's just a generic type thing,
Yeah.
I just answer other to
Other.
everything
Yeah.
because I like the idea of what would that be? What
Yeah.
would that be? Race, Irish, white,
When you're
traveller.
doing when you're
other.
doing your application for what you are to get into like it's like male, female, alien.
Yeah.
An alien is that like why do they have an alien?
Have you seen Men in Black?
But for your work visa, it's like who takes alien?
Aliens?
What?
They're like, yep, that's me. No, I think that's the term that the American government used for someone not from America or something. They say that. There's something in
No,
that. Like I always say stuff in this podcast, and people go, "What?" There was something in that where Dan's like, "You actually." And halfway through saying that, I was like, "I've made a bollocks of this," but I think they would say like, "You're an alien if you're not an American citizen." Is that right, Dan?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. That's the smartest thing I've ever done. But yeah, I know what you mean. Getting into America, when you say you're a stand-up, they always, the customs guys always were on the verge of like, tell me a joke, but they don't.
Yeah.
You know, then they just ask like, who are your favorite comedians, and I say me.
They're so intense when you go through Dublin Embassy.
Yeah.
Like it's like, what are they gonna ask me next? They're
Yeah, because
so
we don't give a
intense.
fuck. You're coming in here.
Yeah.
We're like,
I'm
come
not
on.
in.
Like they're like, you know, it's like borrowing like your girlfriend's dad's car. You know, they're like asking you all these questions, telling you all these things, and you come here, it's like
Yeah, and you can get a real job's worth there.
smoke that out. You know, do donuts, do whatever you want. We just let you come and fucking enjoy yourself, like, which is the best way to be. Would you so I had Paul Hughes on the podcast recently, and we were chatting about, like, you know, ambition and, you know, where you want to be after a certain time. And I said to him, like, is it an assumption that every fighter just wants to be UFC? And is that a thing, or is that like the path, or?
It's like the main two places to go are Bellator or UFC. Now UFC only have 2 female weight divisions. They haven't got my weight division, so I'm in the best division in the world for my weight.
Right.
They don't have 145 there. In the
What do
UFC.
they have?
They have 135. So I find it tough enough to get to 145. So if I wanted to be in the UFC, I would have to drop down to the weight class below.
Right. And then you're going to be like weaker maybe because you've had to like cut so much. Is it?
Yeah, you could be. Yeah.
I would. That's why I always think I would never cut. I just fight at the weight I'm sitting at.
Yeah.
Because then I'd be fighting smaller guys.
Are you?
Huh?
Wait.
60 kilograms.
Are you?
No, I'm 74. I'm about 12 stone 2, I think.
Okay.
I'm deceptively quite heavy.
Yeah.
I have really long arms. I keep a lot of weight in my arms. I don't know, I have heavy blood or something, the doctor said, but I think that's what he said, but he said I'm an alien, basically, is what it is. But yeah, I the idea of like that weight thing, like being like, do you try and keep like pretty consistent outside of camp?
Like, you always tell yourself you're going to, and then a week after the fight, you're like, everything.
What's the thing that gets you? What's where you're like,
anything. Any food.
That's not helpful. Like,
no, it doesn't matter. I just want to eat everything.
There's not like a go-to thing where you're like, as soon as I get home, I'm going to.
No, everything and anything, because your diet's so restricted.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard to keep the weight in between, because the weight I fight at is the heaviest female weight. Like, the men have so many more divisions, whereas the female, the depth of talent obviously are smaller, so they have less weight classes.
Right.
Because there's less female women fighting. So at the minute, like, I'm ranked number 4, and I'll probably be fighting for a world title, and that'll be like the biggest thing for me to achieve, is that, unless I wanted to go down and go to the UFC.
We need to get let's get more women fighting. Like, because you said the depth of like female fighters is smaller, so why not like I'll open it up for like guys like me who can't fight to get involved, because like that's gonna boost morale for female fighters when like I get in the ring and you just put me to sleep in 4 seconds.
Yeah.
So like, could that be an option where like
you identify as a female and
no, I identify as
Bellator.
alien, and I also like can get involved in the sparring, you know, just to make up the numbers.
Yeah,
because
you can
then
do
like
that.
you can have more weight classes, but you know
you
get
could
the
grow
like,
your hair and just jump in the.
Oh, if I grew my hair, there would be no questions asked.
No.
There'd be no questions asked.
Come on ahead, love.
It's disrespectful. I was going to say if I grew my hair, they would easily think I was a female MMA fighter. But that's not true. If I grew my hair, people would be like, Paddy Pimblett, when's the next fight?
So you do look like a load of different people. Like, I've seen somebody.
Mainly
you know
Paddy
what I mean?
Pimblett.
Yeah, you do.
I swear, if I got into the ring with a pair of the shorts on and the gloves as
And
Paddy
start
Pimblett,
dancing to
they
the
would
house
start the
music.
fight. They would start the fight.
Oh, he's so funny. And in real life, he is as funny as he is on TV as
So
well.
so I always get tagged. Anything he puts up, people tag me, is issue. And I think he's seen a bit of that, and it's because it's going on for years, like way before he's fighting UFC, obviously. And about a month ago, he does a podcast, and he said, I had a guest cancel, need a guest for tomorrow, who should I get? And loads of people tagged me.
Yeah.
And because we were doing a podcast here at the time, I think, and I just wrote under one, like, I'm in, or something like that. And then he messaged back and went, can you get to Liverpool tomorrow, lad?
Yeah.
And I phoned Mike and said, we're
Book
going.
my private jet.
Yeah, I was like, fire up the jet. We're going to Liverpool. I'll say the jet, easy jet.
Fly B.
I was like, we're going to Liverpool tomorrow. So I checked flights. I was like, I could get in, do your podcast, and get home. Like, I could be in Liverpool for like 4 hours. And then he was like, I've got something else.
Oh, really?
But it would have been fun.
It would have been so funny.
It would have been fun. Maybe sometime we'll do it in the future, or maybe we start a beef.
And you fight him?
Yeah, but no one knows who won, because we're both, you know what I mean? He wins, and I'm like, yep, there I am, loving it. I did grow my hair once, like long, whenever I was younger, and thought it looked class, and then I saw a photo of it recently, and was like, no, it didn't.
You should do it. Just
I always think my hair would look good long, but I don't think it would.
Mm.
I think I'd lose that like rugged edge.
It would suit the Hollywood look.
What, like long? long hair.
Cool.
But like, now that's patronising because I said before we started recording, I said, "What do you think of my?"
And I said he looked really great and stylish.
No, that wasn't the first thing you said. You said it's kind of like the Granda look, and you said the Granda golf look, and then start talking about my trainers. I was like, I didn't ask about my trainers, but yeah, I need to keep like short hair to keep something like cool about me, you know.
Yeah.
But I always look at Harry Styles and see if I have my hair long, that's what it'd be a similar vibe.
Yeah. Would it?
What's sad is I think that. I genuinely think that. I would love to like hang out with Harry Styles for a while.
Why?
I just think
Wear
we'd have.
dresses.
I just think we'd have fun. Yeah, yeah. Well, I like his pearls. I like the way he does all that. I think he's great voice. I think he was Carrie in the band for a long time, but like Nadine with Girls Aloud.
You should do a duet with him.
I would for your next fight.
Yeah.
Me, him, and
Carrie.
Skepta.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'll
What
be a
a
combo. That's a night out. And
That's
I'm like,
a night out.
and I'm like, do you want to come to our after party? Harry Styles going to sing, I'm going to stand up, Skepta's going to rap, and you're like, I would, but then there's these mob guys over, and someone's going to sleep with the fishes, so I'm going to watch them shoot someone and put them in a river. So I'd love to, otherwise I'm going to do that.
That sounds like such a good night.
Yeah. Why is your after party always in Scalini's? You're like, I don't remember. Scalini's and Morelli's? I don't even know if that's Italian. I don't know. You marry a mob guy?
Would I?
Yeah. He's a top mob guy.
Yeah. He would have to be at the top though.
Right. But then what if you get killed at any point, or do you think that's part of it?
Or if he got killed and I took over the mafia.
Would you take over the mafia?
Yeah.
You would?
I think I would. If I wasn't, I would be a really good criminal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, suppose like you're in high pressure situations,
Mm-hmm.
you're tough, you can fight.
Mm-hmm.
Would you bring the mob here? Would you try and
I could bring it to Ireland. I could
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, they attack. But then the paramilitaries are going to
There's gotta be
that.
A war.
Right, yeah. I don't know. See, the thing is, like, the mob are obviously, like, a historical, like, they've been going for a long time. But then the boys here know this area like the back of their hand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they've got, like, the
It'd be
local...
so interesting.
Yeah. There can be only one winner. I'd be interested in that to happen. And if we'd love to make a documentary on it. We would love a fly on the wall
Behind the scenes.
UTV reality series. Pamela Valentine's like, next on UTV. Leah McCourt brings the mob over to see what happens. What are you like? Obviously, with fighting, like everything's stepping up and more and more bigger, high profile fights. Do you have like an eye on anything else? Like, do you like to do, or like what would you like to do after fighting? I've never asked you before.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like this is I sounds.
Move to Jersey.
I've always wanted to be a spy.
Well, I mean, I feel like you've jeopardized that career with that.
I want to be like in intelligence. I feel like I would be a good like spy.
Undercover?
Yeah, like plant me in somewhere like Russia. Do you like those people that literally have to take on a completely different?
So I think I'd be brilliant. I don't. Is the same for you? You know that Channel 4 show where they like you've got to just get off the radar. Is it called
No, I haven't seen
Hunted?
it.
Hunted. So what they do is it's a reality kind of like real reality show, and they take like 12 people. Some work in teams of 2, some are individuals, and they have like the top intelligence people in the UK, people that have worked at MI5 and the Met Police, and you have to disappear from them
No
for a week. You get a
way.
head start of what
How do we
Ours?
apply?
honestly, I think I'd be really good at it
That would be unreal.
because I'd just be doing that all the time.
Can see me?
But I don't know. I'm gonna spoil it for you if I ever do this show. But here's what I'm thinking. Say there was like a manhunt for you, and like everybody was looking for me. What would you naturally do? You try and go all incognito. You try and like keep the head down, being conspicuous. Here's what I do. I goth up. White makeup face. Black eyes. Dye my hair blue. Big long blue wig. PVC leather jacket with a big collar. Spikes round necklace. Don't isolate this clip and make it out of context. Spike collar. Like big, you know those boots? Like big,
Yeah.
massive boots. And I walk about.
I can see that working for you.
I think
But
it would
even
work
not
for
in
me.
the show, just
Yeah,
that
just
look.
a look.
Like reinvent yourself.
But I think I walk about like that.
Yeah.
And you're gonna like be like, and then, you're not
Yeah.
gonna suspect. everyone's going to try and go incognito. I go the opposite.
Like,
and
where-
that's-
But where do the people on the show go? Do they fly places or do they just
They
go
always-
off the radar?
well, the idea is they're supposed to go off the radar, but they
Or wick?
do. They're all
At the
so
corner
wick.
shop?
A guy got caught in a corner shop, and when I saw it, he was in the back stockroom of a corner shop that his mate ran, and they're
Like,
like,
doing
"We've got the
this?
check here." So, but I think I'd be really good at that show. Going
I
like
have never heard of that.
incognito,
show,
hunted. Honestly, let's say if they're doing a celebrity one, and we could do.
Have
We're
you-
not
did you
going
ever-
to do the real one.
Did you watch Homeland?
That's it. Here's the thing. I couldn't do that show.
We should do a Belfast one.
Well, we couldn't. I'm gonna go under the radar. Aye. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. Did I watch Homeland? Yeah, big fan.
I want to be the girl in that, Carrie.
Well, you want to do her job. You
Do
don't wanna
her
be
job.
Like Carrie.
No, do her job.
No.
Do her job.
Yeah, Carrie's a melter.
Melter. She's really annoying, but it's so addictive to watch.
Did you like
it, though.
Saul?
Yeah, I love Saul.
I loved, and let's not spoil it for anyone, Quinn, my favourite.
Yeah, he was amazing.
He was my favourite.
I hate the way he turned into though, his character.
Yeah, but he got shot or something, didn't he?
Because of her. Didn't he?
There you go. That's why another reason why Carrie is a melter. She just gets everybody shot, which is a real melter behaviour. She's an absolute melter. Everyone just gets shot. I like Homeland, but I didn't watch the last series of it. It's
the
one of
best-
those
It's
ones.
the best one.
Oh yeah. But it's one of those ones where like, it's like the end, and you're like, okay, well that's done, and then it's like another series.
Yeah, but this is at the end.
Like when Brody, I never
Like,
thought he was
Brody
dead.
went on and on. He was too long.
I never thought he was dead, because the whole premise of the
so
first
glad he
series was
died.
that everyone thought he was dead, and then he was like, oh, they've let me go.
Yeah.
So then, fuck it. If you haven't watched it by now, when people watching and listen to this, when they like hung him and you saw it, I was watching it and turned around to my wife and being like, no.
Yeah, you think
He's
he's
not dead.
going to keep coming back every
She's like,
series.
he's been up there hanging by the neck for 6 minutes, and I went, I know, that's what he wants you to think. She's like, no, he's dead. He's done. I went, trust me, and that's why I kept watching series
so
on.
good.
So I was he's gonna pop back up. Do people like when you're in camp and do you just end up watching box sets? Is that what people
Like
do?
watching, trying to find something to watch because you
Yeah.
can't even go out for dinner. You can't do anything.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to find things to watch.
See, I like my own company, but I like to be able to go and do things.
Yeah, I
if I'm
like-
traveling for shows by myself, I like to go out and walk around. And
same. Like I don't mind like being on my own a lot of the time in camp, but yeah, I like going out and doing things. But then if you want to eat or want anything, it's like, where's the packet
can you
of
go to
chicken?
Nando's?
No, not even.
You can't get plain. You get
Well,
plain
not it just depends on
Rice?
your calories.
pineapple. Plain chicken, rice, pineapple. No good.
I'll check.
Broccoli, tender stem broccoli with garlic and lemon oil.
I'll check. Can I hire you to be my nutritionist?
Yes,
Camp?
and you know we're going for every meal. Nando's. That'd be great. Yeah.
Nando's is always the post weigh-in meal. Always Nando's. Always
Right.
go to Nando's.
What about when was it Billy Joe Saunders and Wilder had a fight in the Belfast Nando's?
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm not making this up. Sure, I'm not. Right, 100% true.
No way.
Fury and Wilder had just started their like rivalry
Amazing.
years ago
Yeah, and Wilder flew to Belfast. I didn't know they had a fight in.
for Frampton's fight. What
the
was
one where he
Wilder?
fell in the shower.
No. This was when Carl was doing Windsor. When he was
okay.
headlining Windsor. Fury was doing
It says Wilder hit with chicken by Billy Saunders.
That's absolutely
Wilder hit with chicken. Is that not a
hilarious.
Belfast headline? Wilder hit with chicken
Of course, it happened in
by
Belfast.
Billy Joe Saunders. But the thing with that is, wasn't Fury fighting in that undercard when Frampton fought here? I think
No,
I think it was
he
one of his comeback fights.
yeah.
So what happened was, Wilder flew over to like confront Fury to be on the microphone, and he was in Nando's, and then Billy Joe Saunders was seen with there, and Billy Joe
Amazing.
Saunders, I think, is good friends with Fury.
Yeah.
And then as him and his mates were leaving, he just like fucked the butterfly chicken
That is the
at
Belfast
Wilder.
spirit.
And then Wilder's mates, like, they all chased Billy Joe Saunders and his crew, and there's footage of it, and there's just loads of like people from Belfast just sitting there like
Like
totally
it was normal.
unfazed.
The norm. Yeah.
No one's looking up from their food. If that happens in any other city, they go wild. You gonna tell me another fact about that? No, sorry. All right. Cheers. Very good research. Sorry, I didn't deserve anything. But what about like, would you stay after fighting? Would you stay in that like industry? Like, do you like doing the punditry and all that sort
Yeah,
of
I
thing? Would you be a
definitely
coach?
I like coaching. I definitely like the TV side of it.
My one tip for coach: keep the head busy.
Okay.
That's what I'm always doing.
I
in
could
the
bring
room.
you in for a seminar.
Yeah. Please, let's do that, but somewhere not here. And don't say I'm a comedian or anything. And let me just take a seminar with no. But I could talk for 2 hours about fighting. It wouldn't make any sense, but I could do it.
Okay.
I'd be like, don't forget the number one thing. If you got your back to an opponent, don't be afraid to elbow and then hit. Boom, boom. Because everything I learn, I have a karate background, so like kung fu, so a lot of my stuff is martial arts based.
Yeah.
But like the strike, I wouldn't be 100% with the power striking and things like that, and submission. But like I've done like aikido, capoeira, Copacabana. Like I know a lot of. Like it doesn't look like I know what I'm doing, but that's
you
because I
do.
know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I adapt to fight situations. You know, I know I've got pretty good pressure points too.
I could. Yeah. You
People
could do my.
don't do
You could
that.
do my corner for my next fight.
Yeah, people don't do that in fights anymore, do they?
What?
Pressure points.
I don't think they ever did that.
No, I
did
think
they?
it's Steven Seagal. But no,
Like
but you
movies,
could.
maybe they did
You
that?
could
Okay.
literally go up and get someone by the right point of the ear and make them tap.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll try it in
Next
my next
fight.
fight.
I swear, just go straight in and see
Just touch gloves and then.
under the
Grab
ear
the
where
ear.
your jaw meets your neck.
Yeah.
You see that soft bit?
Yep.
No,
Your neck.
no, it's into your head, like into your brain.
Yeah.
See in there that fleshy bit.
Yeah.
If you no, it won't. It doesn't. You don't feel it because has anyone ever pushed you in there?
No.
Right. I swear that's the worst pain on earth. I swear.
Are you?
No, you can't. No. Here, you can't do it yourself. It's like tickling. You
Well,
can't
can I
tickle
do you?
yourself. No. Right. If you do it right,
Okay.
don't like continue to do it if you see that I'm in pain, right?
Okay.
Because I'm not like a weird guy who's like, you know, just like, oh, that's so sore. Like I like it. I don't like pain of any sort.
Okay.
So like,
And let me try it.
right, but swear you're not gonna do it
Swear on my
sore,
hair.
right? Now, right? Wait, no. No, hold on. Okay. Right now, if I like fall off the chair, I'm not doing it for a joke,
Stand up. Let me do it. Come on.
right?
Am I still in here?
Hold on. See, just there. Yeah. Okay. Right, hang on. That was too hard.
Someone hold his hand.
Okay, no. I don't need to. Aikido. Yeah. It's so sore. So please sit down. Please sit down. Please sit down.
Pathetic attempt ever.
It's a pressure point. Jesus Christ. There was a moment there where I was like, you could just cave my whole head in. You could literally put your finger there, the other finger there, and then just touched in the
That
middle.
feels quite relaxing.
No, it's not. Honestly, and it's so bad. It's so bad. Honestly, for your next, I want you to be the first person in MMA history to win a
Just
professional
poke
fight
someone?
with that.
Okay. I will do it.
Jeez, I'm so on edge. I think after comedy, you know what I'd like to do?
Fight.
Snooker referee.
Oh.
Snooker referee.
What's there a referee in snooker?
Yeah.
What do they do?
Just make sure everyone's keeping out of trouble, you know? I don't know. It just seems like they wear wee white gloves. Don't they? They wear wee white gloves, and I just think it'll be like a nice thing because snooker is very therapeutic. You ever put the snooker on when you can't sleep at night and just
Never.
listen to it?
Never.
Here's all you hear, right? Here's all you hear. So you're in bed asleep. And then listen to the audience, right? Here he goes. He goes, like, give me like a name.
Like any name?
Yeah.
Tommy.
So you go, Tommy now, come up to break. See that? I'm gone. Honestly.
So strange.
It's a life hack. Life hack number 1, walk into the Starbucks consulate. Life hack number 2, you can't sleep. You got demons, you got stuff in your mind. Snooker.
I've learned so much today.
There you go.
And I've learned how to win my next fight.
Honestly, I don't want that to become a thing where people go, can I do it? You can't. That honestly,
you
like,
see him
my
tomorrow night
cousin
in the
used to do that to
SSE.
me. My cousin used to do it to me, and it is the worst. And the other one is during a fight, I don't know if there's a rule against this. See that wee bit of skin in there? Horse nip. I want to see you win a belt by a horse nip. That's a number 1.
Do you know that we can elbow each other in the skull or on the floor?
Oh, that's so cool. Horse nip. Here's what I'd recommend. Leave the head open for that, and as soon as your opponent connects elbow to your temple, that's when you just go on the horse nip.
Okay.
Or if you're fighting outdoor and a yellow car goes past, yellow car, free hit. Leah, thanks so much for coming on. You think I won't wear that t-shirt in normal life that you've given me, but I will.
I hope you will.
What I like about it is
The glitter.
I like the glitter. I like that there's not too much going on the front, but then there is on the back.
Yeah.
You know, because what sponsors have we got?
You're really good. Can I just say, if I had something to sell, I would make use.
I didn't arrange that.
You
to be
really
fair.
sold that, all that really well, like the stories and the detail.
Yeah.
Like normally people say one line, you went into full on.
Kingsbridge Private Hospital, been there, circumcision. True story. Shout out to Dr. Walsh. Timothy Malloy, chartered accountant, best in the business. NI supplements.
The boys.
Shout out to the Baraka boys. Lifelike, what do they do?
Media, like the filming,
Film and stuff. Roseland Skin Clinic.
facials.
I'm a regular. I have great skin.
You had really soft skin, like when I
I don't have soft skin. I have rugged, weathered skin from years of combat. Next gen power.
solar power,
They aren't solar.
electricity.
Yeah, I'll wear this. Everlast. First punch bag ever I was in Everlast. Thanks very much for coming on the podcast. I
Thanks for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
And honestly, because you'd come on the podcast last time, and I think the Wembley fight was already like arranged or talked about, and we considered going. We were like, we should go to this, but it was still like
you can't
not as
travel.
easy. Yeah, but your next fight, the Tea With Me podcast, will go.
Do it live at the fight, after the fight.
Here's what we're gonna do. See, as soon as the fight ends and you win, we'll go to McDonald's
Oh my god, amazing!
and bring it back.
We'll
That's
bring
what we'll do.
Skepta and
That's
the Sopranos.
I see where this is going. Yeah, Leah, thanks so much. Really appreciate
Thanks
it.
for
Thank you
having
for the
me.
t-shirt. And if you've any more gear, fire it over. Any wrap? You got any wraps? Bring me a few wraps. I'm out. They're all worn down from striking.
Okay.
Honestly, see that one? I'm that and that.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Thanks.
And then I'd probably do an overhand throw over the hip.